Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Iqbal. I'm from MEB2. Today I'm gonna talk about Bernoulli principle, which is under fluid and mix, and this is my second lab. And so here's my presentation. So the first part we're going to talk about is introduction. So for the Bernoulli principle, according to the Bernoulli principle, when area available for the fluid to flow decrease, then flow velocity of the fluid increase. And at the meanwhile, the fluid pressure or the fluid potential energy decreases too. And this principle was named after the Daniel Bernoulli who first write this principle in book named Hydrodynamics. So the next slide we go to aim and objective. So for this lab, the aim of the lab is to compare the behavior of ideal fluid and real fluid. And for the objective of this lab is the objective of the experiment is to use the bencher meter apparatus to study the effect of area of the flow velocity and fluid pressure, and also use the Bernoulli equation to compare the behavior of ideal and real fluid. So the next one is procedure. So the first step is the general startup procedures is performed, and the second is all piezometer tubes are checked properly connected to the corresponding pressure depths are air bubble free so that we can ensure that the results are more accurate. The third is the discharge valve is adjusted to a high measurable flow rate. And the next one is after the level is stabilized, the water flow rate is measured using the volumetric method. Next one is the hypotonic tube connected to the piezometer is gently slide to the so that the cross section of the venturi tube at A reach its end. Step 5 is repeated for the cross section for B, C, D, E, and F. And step 3 to 6 is repeated with 3 other decreasing flow rates by regulating the venturi discharge. The velocity IB is calculated using the Bernoulli equation, which is the formula is stated. The velocity VIC is calculated using the continuity equation where VIC equal to Q over A. And lastly, the difference between the two calculated velocities is determined. Next, we go to apparatus setup. So as you can see in this picture, this is the how the experiment is set up. The Bernoulli, actually this is the Bernoulli theorem demonstration unit, also known as FM24. So the part one is actually the piezometer. Number two shows that it is the test section. Number three shows that it is the water inlet. Number four is the unions. Five is the air bleed screw, and six is this discharge valve. Seven is the giant nut. Eight is the hypodermic probe, and nine is the adjustable feed. So this is the results. As you can see, this is the result for equal pipes experiment. The time taken for this equal pipe to flow is 9.3 seconds, and the flow rate is 3.226 times 10 to the power of 4 10 to the power of 4. And all those intervals, all the values that we get, which are velocity, piezometer head, the velocity head, and total head. So all these are being observed and being calculated during the experiment. So this is for the unequal pipes experiment. This is the results. The time taken is same, and the flow rate is also the same as the equal pipes, but there are raise in water level, which is 0.05 meter, and the area of collecting tank is 0.06 square meter. And all those are the result that we collected during the experiment, which is the velocity, piezometer head, velocity head, and the total head. And the right picture shows that it's the graph where head versus piezometer number. The next part is we go to the discussion. From the calculation, it is very clear that with decrease in the area of the flow, the velocity increase and the pressure decrease too. Also, as shown in the graph of all these three tests, that the decrease in area of flow decrease, the height of water in millimeter column means they are directly proportional to each other. Different in the theoretical and measured value, it can be said that water is not an ideal fluid, And the next one is the height of water in the final column was not equal to the initial value, which show that there are friction losses in water particle. The last one, this type of information is very useful in the case if nozzle jets and diffusers. So the last part of the experiment, which is the conclusion. So for the conclusion, as state, high velocity of fluid flow result in low pressure, and based on continuity equation, smaller area result in high velocity. Thus, the result proof both equation could be used to determine the velocity of fluid flow in a piezometer. Even the valve is not exactly the same, but the pattern of increasing and decreasing at the converging and diverging portion is same, so that as the velocity increases, the total both convergent and divergent flow.